Hello, my name is Jay, and I'm currently studying abroad in Japan. This is mainly for my friends and family so they could keep up with me in my travels. I originally planned for this to be more visual and animated, but since I don't have much time right now, this is all I can do. Hopefully, when I have more free time, I can get more creative with this. So, this will be my introductory video, I suppose. I'm currently studying abroad in Nagoya, Japan, and I have been here for about 4 months now, I suppose. And I will stay here until July of 2017. I'm currently studying Japanese language and culture while in Japan, and as a side, hobby would be art. This is I really don't know what else to say. Well, I came to Japan to learn about Japanese language and culture, of course, but I was very also interested in the animation prospect of my travels. I really want to become an animator when I grow up, so I hope that this experience will help me grow in that aspect as well. God, I sound like a job interviewee. So far, for 4 months, I think I have improved a lot in my Japanese. I still can't quite get the grammar down pat, but I think my vocabulary has expanded and I can actually read more Japanese than I first anticipated. The biggest thing that surprised me in Japan is actually the transportation. I've heard about it a lot, but I didn't actually expect it to be so like really good. And I think that's the one thing I'll probably miss most when I go back to America because the the transportation here is superb even like I don't know how to describe it. It's like on time usually most of the time, almost always, and super clean and like there's not really much difficulty using it. This is including like trains, buses, taxis, so forth. I haven't really been able to drive in a car except for like twice, and including taxis. But it's really interesting how they like keep it clean and keep it so on time. And if there's a delay, it's not usually by like say half an hour at most. My friend's bus actually was late about 20 minutes or so, but that might have been just because of busing schedule error. But I think that it's really reliable, and I really wish that we had this kind of transportation back home. I think the second biggest culture shock would be most definitely like food wise. I mean, I expected Japanese food, of course, but then I realized how much I took for granted the diversity of cuisine back home, where you can literally walk down the street and see five different kinds of like restaurants from different countries. And I think I really miss that. Oh, and stores actually close pretty early here, around like 8 or 9. I guess that's kind of normal, but like things like grocery stores, it's kind of like if you want a midnight snack, you should have bought it like at 7. So if there's no like run to the Walmart or anything for like emergency food. You actually have to prepare that or keep it or bought it earlier for you to actually have it for late night snack. And I mean, of course, everything's typically Japanese food, and I don't mind it. It's just I kind of really want cheese. Cheese here is super expensive, and it's just the lack of cheese. You can buy it at the store. It's just more expensive, and I guess the diversity is not there. Like they put mozzarella on. That's like the main kind of cheese, like how cheddar is to America, mozzarella is to Japan. But it's fun. It's fine. I mean, I complain about it a lot, but it's only because I miss it. I think the first thing I want to get when I get back is a really nice bowl of pho. Like, there's like there's no restaurants that serve pho here, and it's kind of like sad because I've been to a Mexican restaurant here, and there have been Turkish kebab places here, which are really good in itself. Like their kebab rolls are great, and I've been to Indian here, which is really good too. But it's like they're not as widespread as I would wanted them to be. Because I sometimes it's just like you want to go somewhere, and you want to like this specific thing, and that's kind of hard to get here unless you actually know the area, which I guess is what I'm doing. I'm getting to know my area and then find what I want. But it's also like how you would think that you can just look it up on the map, but that's actually really hard to do here, especially if you don't have any like data or anything. I think my favorite food that I've had since I've been to Japan like is probably the ramen, especially like tonkotsu ramen. It's like a pork bone broth ramen, and there's actually a restaurant nearby. Not really, I guess it's not nearby. It's a 15-minute walk, but it's actually nearby, and it's really good. And it's one of those ticket restaurants where you pay at a machine, you get a ticket, you hand in the ticket, and they give you the food, and it's like you can choose which kind you want, what you don't want in it. It's really convenient, I think. It's one of those things where I wish we had that in America, but you know, I can dream. I mean, of course, I had sushi. There's actually a Keitan, like a conveyor belt sushi restaurant nearby that we everyone goes to all the time. Apparently, there's a better one, like maybe 15, 20, actually probably longer than that away. That's better, but I'm way too lazy to go out there. I don't know where it is. I just haven't been there yet. Probably soon. I haven't really been able to travel as much as I wanted to due to like money constraints. But I think that's also good because like I won't be traveling everywhere like every other weekend and not wasting my money on other things. Honestly, I think my money it has really been buying souvenirs for other people, which it's actually I think is pretty easy to do because there's so much stuff to buy and everything is like either really cute or really cool. So it's not hard to buy souvenirs because I feel like anyone would like anything that I got. All in all, so far it's been a really great time. I think I'm slowly accomplishing my goal to get really good at Japanese, and I'm actually applying a lot of culture knowledge that I've learned so far, and it's just really great. I would actually recommend staying for a year for anyone who can, because if I had were to, because a lot of people are leaving next month or actually a couple of weeks from now, since their semester is over, and they're starting to like feel the hurt. And I actually kind of glad I studied abroad for a year because I feel like if I went home with my level of language right now, I kind of would be disappointed in myself. So I'm glad I have another semester to stay to improve even more. But yeah, I guess I can talk about school now, transition. Um School's great. I think the campus is quite small, but also, I guess it's small but confusing because it's not in numerical order. The buildings have numbers and letters, and then sometimes a specific building is assigned a totally different set of characters. It's just really confusing. Like it looks like everything's connected, but then it's not, and then it, it's just a little bit confusing, but I found my way around quite easily. There's some buildings I haven't been in yet because it's actually belongs to a like another school that's connected to our school, but the campus is really nice. It, I don't know if all Japanese colleges look like it, but I think it's really well like compact since it is small, but there's a lot of space, so it's not like narrowly like constrictive. Uh, classes are going well. I like my teachers. I like my classes. I wish I wish really the only complaint I have about my classes is the culture class, not even the language class. Language class I could learn and apply. For culture class, it's a little bit difficult. They're all taught in English, so one would think that it would be somewhat simpler. But the way of teaching here is much, much different than I'm used to. And I thought I would get used to it by now, but I still haven't. So, which is kind of conflicting me whether or not I should continue those culture classes next semester. But this is all just my opinion. I mean, I'm still learning. It's just I guess, not really the way they teach it, but like the content within the class is not what I expected to be. So I'm kind of caught off guard, but in a good way, in a bad way. um, our classes are actually quite small. Since it is via program, it's nowhere near what it would be in America, where my Japanese classes would have like 20 some people. Classes here have like maybe maximum, I think maximum of 15 for my class, and then when you go up higher level, it's actually gets more people, which I'm actually in a pretty low level. I'm too embarrassed to say. But I like it. You have with smaller classes, you have more one-on-one time with the teacher. You have more time to ask questions. Uh, the test, like, everything is in Japanese for Japanese language, unless there's no absolute way that to explain it other than English. But they encourage you quite well to use Japanese at any time you can. Um, it's it's really nice. I think I actually quite enjoy it. Right now for me, it's just I think the grammar that's getting to me that's super hard, because like I can look at it and I can probably understand it, but if I were to try to speak it, I wouldn't be able to recall it fast enough for me to actually speak it in a comfortable way. So whenever I try to talk in Japanese, it's kind of like stuttery. Like it's like when you're trying to learn English and just trying to figure out which grammar to use. I guess it doesn't really apply to most people. But yeah. Well, English is definitely not one of my strong points, so I guess that's why I'm struggling in grammar in Japanese too. It's because it's just so difficult and different. But I think it's really fun. I like learning a different language is definitely something I would recommend to anyone who like has the drive to, because that stuff is fun. Just like you can apply that to your own little world. Like let's say German, you can just point at something and just call it a different like word, but it means the exact same thing. I think that's really cool. But yeah, I think I don't know. This could sound cheesy, but like the more languages you learn, the more bridges you can build. But yeah, actually, I don't. How long am I supposed to talk for? Yeah, I guess I guess that's it for now. I don't really know what else to put as my next topic, so I guess I'm open to suggestions. I'm open. I can always just ramble about my day. That's good too. But yeah, let me know if there's any suggestions you want me to talk about. I'm happy to answer any questions since I have no ideas. But yeah, I guess I don't know.